right. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Lindsay Fetty-Vickers. I am new to natural lifemanship, but been in the therapeutic equine industry for quite a long time. Path certified instructor, grew up showing Arabian horses on a national level. I love technology. I love networking. And this is really nice, kind of doing a conference call or a virtual networking group. For those self-proclaimed introverts, it lets you participate as much or as little in your own house as you want. So I think that's really great. Like I said, we are recording this. So for those of you who couldn't make it tonight, please join us next time. And let's see here. I think some things, I love seeing everybody's faces. Part of this platform is being able to get that face-to-face interaction. So even if you have no makeup on and messy barn hair, I still want to see your smile. I'm done up today. I don't know how that worked out. You'll see me not this done up. So don't be afraid to show your smile. Let's see here, what else? Okay, the only other thing is that I know that there were some people who either are natural lifemanship trainers or other trainers from things we know very well and like to get trained on. The only thing I would say is that, I kind of was thinking that this would be a place for everybody to come to and get something out of it for themselves and not have to be turned on in the trainer sense or whatever. So if they are here, if they do come, let's just not bombard them, with what do we do here? What do we do here? If you want supervision or training, we're here to promote our businesses. So, just be respectful of that. So with that being said, we have maybe about 10 people on here. I do want to go around for everybody to introduce themselves. I think that's important. And so I'll go ahead and call your name out. And when I do, just unmute yourself and then mute yourself when you're done. If somebody wants to ask a question, jump in. This is very collaborative. I'm not going to be talking the whole time. So when you introduce yourself, obviously your name, if you're an LPC or an equine professional, neither, all of the above, the city and state that you're in, because this is across the country, which is exciting. Your business name, kind of what your business is about, and then your hopes for this networking group. I think we all come with different hopes. At the end of this call, I'm going to send out a link, and I think I'm going to put the link also in the chat function. But if you guys would fill it out, and it's basically just collecting a little bit of information. This is a professional networking group, but also what do you want to learn? What did you come here for? What kind of things are you wanting to learn? All the good stuff. What day is best for you? We had quite a few people that's like, Tuesday evening's not good for me. Will this time work? So just kind of answering some of those questions, because this is for you guys. This is not, one person's show. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna just go top to bottom in no order. Lila, you're up.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So I live in Dripping Springs. I have a large ranch, and when my daughters went to college, I went back to school and I got my master's in counseling. I had formerly been a teacher. I also have a master's in educational psychology, with the intention of becoming an equine therapist. And I discovered natural lifemanship actually when I was writing my thesis. I interviewed a few people over there, and I just automatically wanted to join the group to build a community. I'm completely jumping in as a newbie, and I don't have a name for my business, but I have been rescuing horses for about 20 years, and it's something that's really important to me, like rescue, rehab, rehabilitation, and then finding the right owner. So I feel like I've kind of been in not more as a volunteer, and so I use my ranch. We have almost 750 acres. I use it for people and horse I had the joy of growing up with horses. And so I share that with people. I mentor teenagers and so on and so forth. And that's my spiel.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have to talk because my business is also, it's a brand new one. We got it all up and running, but we're also in Dripping Springs. So we should talk outside of this group.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you, Lila.
Likewise.
All right. Carol and Sally, I'm going to skip you guys because you're going to do your introductions in just a minute. Elise, you're up, girl.
Hi, I'm Elise. I am in Blacksburg, Virginia. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have been interested in animal and human health for many years and completed the certificate through University of Denver program. I went to an EAGALA barn a couple years ago, and they asked me, and I started asking to volunteer as a licensed person, and then I ended up working there one day a week. And so that was my first exposure. I did go through with EAGALA training, but I'm also interested in continuing training through University of Denver with Nina Elkomprai. And through this process, I'm just reaching out, researching, and just trying to find what my niche is. I'm in private practice by myself. I work with my dog. She's my co-therapist, but we are trying to start something in the New Era Valley, part of Virginia, that's equine assisted mental health. And I'm not sure where that's going to lead us yet, but we're crawling, and I'm just anxious to learn everything that I can before we move forward.
Awesome. Thanks, Elise.
Thank you.
All right. Elizabeth.
Hi. So I apologize. I have a very intrusive Maine Coon that I've been away from all day, so she may talk. So I am a licensed mental health counselor, I guess LPC nationally. And I've been in private practice and also working at an agency. I'm an equestrian and horse owner, and kind of beginning the journey of integrating equine assisted therapy. The agency I work in, I'm in North Shore, Boston area in Massachusetts, and I work for an agency that is looking to develop an equine assisted psychotherapy model with a trauma focus, which is my practice focus. So kind of walking the lines between the agency developing it and getting trained that way, and then also I'm going to do a certified riding instructor and trying to figure out which other equine assisted path if I do that separately from the agency. So and just looking to connect and learn, and I think learn more about the foundations of equine assisted therapy, because that's part of what the agency is trying to do, is do a model that gives that foundation, because I think it's hard to figure out that next step. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Welcome. All right, let's see here. Miss Fritzy. I wonder if she stepped away. There you are.
Here I am. Well, hello, I am Fritzy Glover-Stromat. I am a doctorate of OT, and I'm kind of different than everyone else in the group. But we utilize, I have a farm here in Houston, Texas, that is on 240 acres in the Corps of Engineer land. And we treat medically critical kids with rescue horses, and so we utilize the connection model to build those relationships and dynamic movement and occupational therapy. I am certified in a multitude. I've been practicing for many years, but animal assisted therapy is one of my certifications. I'm also certified in hippotherapy. So that's what I got my doctorate in also, is in utilizing OT and hippotherapy as a holistic practice. One of the things that I have discovered through the research and everything that I've done over the last couple, 2-3 years, is that and I heard some people talk about, oh, well, they want to go get certified in the PATH certification. It kind of muddies the water. It really muddies the water because you're medical, and that division between medical and recreational causes a lot of confusion within the medical model and insurance companies and your stakeholders. So there's a lot of knowledge there, but to remember that that is recreational and that we are medical. And we need to, if we're going to ever get a really strong hold, I know that the mental health aspect has gotten the aspect of utilizing animals as an engagement to being paid by insurance. But as far as an OT goes, I utilize it in my practice because I'm an OT. Okay. And that is the key thing. I'm not PATH certified for a specific reason. And that is because I am a medically based program. And I want to make sure that my stakeholders know that this is a medical program and we have medical goals in what we use our equines for. So anyway, what is my goal? I enjoy getting to know people. I learned so much from the mental health individuals. You all bring such a value to even the practice of what I do, in the aspect of, because my kids are traumatized by their medical interventions, also by birthing traumas and those kind of things. But also is that when you look at the parents, they're all traumatized when they have medically critical kids. And I see this over and over again. The statistics are out there that 85 to 90% of my parents will be divorced, before the child grows up. So there is a lot going on. So we allow our horses to roam in the commons when the parents drive in, and they get to engage with the horses while we work with the children, just as they can receive as much as they can and have that peace while we take their kids out on a journey.
Well said. I forgot to mention, I'm in school to become an LMFT. I'm really an equine professional now, full-time tech job. That's a story for another time. But I have a master's in public health, and there are just huge statistics around divorce and caretaker depression, and this is why we need integrative healthcare overall.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think that would be an interesting topic to discuss at some point on here.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Fritzy.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's see here. Crystal. You're talking on mute, girl. Do you want me to unmute you? I can do it for you.
There, I
There
think I
you
got
go.
it. Okay, thank you. I have two kids in the background, so bear with me.
It's all good.
Yeah. I'm Crystal Rayleigh from Sheridan, Wyoming, and I have my own facility here. I'm an LPC, but I'm also an equine specialist. And I have another therapist that works here with me and two part-time equine specialists. And we've been doing this for about 7 years. And I really am hoping for some brilliant business ideas. Just hoping to intentionally grow, to reach more people, to help more than I have been. And I love what I do with the horses. I feel that's maybe where my talents are, but I am not business brained. And so having some people that would throw ideas at me and help me out would be amazing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, I think even in the comments about like on Facebook and stuff, people are like, business. And so few things there. The first thing I will tell you is go take Natural Lifemanship's master business class. It is worth every penny of that $350. Shannon Knapp, been doing it for years. Couldn't recommend it enough. It helps my business partner and I, like you get a template for an actual business plan. And so I'm not trying to recreate, I wouldn't want to try to recreate other people's trainings or whatever. Obviously, I'll approach them and see if they want to come, do a little chat for us or something like that. The other thing that I would tell you guys, if you're looking for business ideas, I'm a huge fan of passive income. I have all these business ideas And so just thinking about that, so we can talk about that too. But Private Practice Startup, it's a podcast and website. And I've been listening to that, and they just talk about the most cool things. So if you're looking for a good resource, there are two for you. All right, Miss Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary. Let Loose Stables out here in Long Beach, Washington. I've been involved for about 2 years now with therapeutic writing program and the natural lifemanship. I'm a volunteer with Windhaven Therapeutic Writing. We do all veterans, specifically with PTSD and TBI, on a Saturday, one Saturday a week, right? So I want to open it up and either make it another extra income for them or bring it up to my stables here in Longview, because we're all so far and few between up here on the Northwest that I'm actually considering finding myself a therapist or a social worker, somebody who would be interested in starting a business with me. I haven't really taken on the leap from there, and I have to finish my natural lifemanship certification. All I got is some some conference calls, and to having them videotape me to finish that certification. I'm also a substitute teacher, and I love how I'm able to use what I've learned with the horses out in the classroom. So I'm hoping to, broaden Windhaven's reach, or even, just having my own place of broadening and being able to reach more people than just veterans, not just one small group, I guess you could say. So I'm a veteran myself, retired military, and so that's where I'm at. That's the reason.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for your service. I'm sure you get that a lot, but veterans have become a small passion of mine because I just don't think that they're getting the services that they need. And looking back on a lot of the trauma-informed work and research that people have done, it all started with people who had been in war and veterans. And so and in fact, a lot of the research, specifically with equine assisted psychotherapy, has been two really main areas: eating disorders and veterans. So very, very applicable. And I definitely, Shannon Knapp, also at Horse Sense of the Carolinas, has some veterans trainings now specifically for EAP, probably mostly around the natural lifemanship model. So they just started that, and I would highly recommend it as well. All right. So thank you for everybody for introducing yourself. Super exciting. Now we're going to move on to the fun educational portion. Typically in networking events, if you're in the same location, you're just kind of meandering about the room and talking and introducing yourself. With conference calls, it's probably best to keep it a little bit more structured. So that's not to say that it can't change, but that's why I've kind of decided on this format here. So I'd like to introduce you guys to Carol Masters, and Sally, you're going to have to help me with your last name. Iwanowski.
Iwanski.
Iwanski. And these ladies were introduced to me, about 2 weeks ago, 1 to 2 weeks ago, and they have Young Living Oils business, and they have specifically done a lot of been involved with a lot of research about essential oils for horses, the horse and human connection. I know with the natural lifemanship model, we do a lot with essential oils. And so I thought that would be a really great, fun little topic for us to start out with and get educated on. So ladies, the floor is yours.
This is Sally Iwanski, and Carol and I thought I could start first because I have a little smaller bit amount. I have been around horses most of my life, but when my knees went down on me, I need 2 knee replacements. I got involved with miniature horses instead. And I run a nonprofit here in Austin, Texas called Minis and Friends, We've been going on for about 12 years now, and I did another 3 or 4 years with another lady out in Lockhart. So I have quite a bit of experience using miniature horses in therapeutic backgrounds. We've worked with children at Dell's Children Hospital here in Austin. There was a little boy in Lakeway a couple years ago that got hit by lightning. I don't know if you remember that. The day he came out of his coma, we were down in the Healing Gardens, and they took his bed and his doctors and his nurses, and they wheeled him right out to us. And my little horse, Chamonix, went right up to him and plunked his head on the bed. And the child reached out with his hand to touch Sean on his head. And I mean, the whole place was like, oh, he moved because he basically fried himself, you know, when the lightning hit. Yeah, so it was really exciting to see that. And we see this all the time using miniature horses. But we go to Dell's Children, we go to nursing homes, we go to mentally disabled, challenged young people. And we do this on our weekends. It's a volunteer organization, and it's quite exciting. But we've started using the oils on our miniature horses. As they age, they get a little hyper about jumping into a minivan, which is how all of my owners, I have 3 miniature horse owners and 12 miniature horses working in the Austin area. And we all use minivans to travel in. So my boys, I have 3 of them, they'll hop into the minivan, you know, so that's a little nerve wracking. And then, because they push each other around to get settled in there. And then we have to go up the highway and do all that crap. And they get really nervous and upset. So we've started using some of the starter kit oils for Young Living on them before we go to help calm them down. It's no fun to get to an event and have them so antsy they don't want to work. And I say, this is what you do, guys. You work, I work. We're gonna have a partnership. But it's really great. And we used, for instance, we used lavender, valor, peace and calming, and stress away. And all of those are in the starter kit for Young Living. And you open up the bottle and you put it under their nose so they can smell it. And the horse will tell you if they like it or not. And Carol's going to speak to that a lot more. And then you can, as soon as you find one that they like, you know, you put it in your hand and you rub them on their back and work your way up towards their ears. And then you've got a calm horse who can get into a minivan and drive up the highway in traffic and not be freaking out on you. So we really love it. You can use it for a lot of other things. You can use it for muscle relaxation, use it for wound care. You can use it with, like Lindsay was saying, with the children and the adults, and to help everybody relax. And I'm still kind of learning. I'm a young living person. I've only been in for 1.5 years, but it's wonderful, and we really, really like it. And then, of course, we use it too. We use it on sleep. I use it for circulation issues on my legs. It's all really great. But anyway, I thank you very much for inviting us. And Carol's kind of my leader, and she's going to speak more. She's actually a horseback rider, which I can't do anymore, but I got the little guy, so I'm okay. It's nice meeting you. Carol.
Hey guys. Sorry, I think I had myself muted. Can y'all hear me? Okay. My name's Carol Masters. I'm really excited to be here with y'all today. I've been using essential oils and horses for about a year. I just started getting into it myself. I'm here to show you how to improve the happiness and well-being of not just your horses, but yourself as well. I've lived in Austin, Texas for the past 13 years. I come by way of New York, Boston, and DC. So I still got some East Coast left in me. And I was glad to see we have some East Coasters here. I'm going to be reading my notes today so I can be comprehensive in my information to you. So a little bit about myself. My full-time job is I'm a registered nurse. I have a master's degree in nursing administration, and I've been a hospital employee for the last 32 years. I primarily have worked and do work now with sick and premature infants in my neonatal ICU at my local hospital here in Austin, which is St. David's, South Austin. And I started riding horses as a stress reliever from work about 7 years ago, and I fell in love with horses. I always wanted to do it as a kid, but I didn't have the time or money. So I went to Lori Ragland's barn on a Groupon, and I haven't left. I ride Arabian Western dressage. I know that's a weird one. But mainly I just like to get on the horse and let all my cares in the world disappear. As you all know, horses are the best therapists. I often tell my coworkers that I'm going to see my shrink, but he's really a horse. So anyway, I was invited by Lindsay to talk about essential oils and horses today. And the first question everyone wants to know is, what are essential oils? They're very popular right now. You can get them anywhere. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Essential oils are the immune system of the plant. They're the disease-fighting or the pharmacy of the plant. And they're the substance that protects and heals the plant. Historically, there are over 600 references in the Bible of essential oil uses, so they're not new. The ancient Egyptians used them for beauty and embalming. The Roman soldiers applied these oils to provide valor and confidence before going to battle. In fact, we use a blend called Valor, and it's one of the horses' favorites. They always want the Valor, and I have Valor on me right now, just because I have to do this public speaking. But anyway, essential oils started to make a resurgence after World War II, and now they're everywhere because now people are searching for more natural answers. If you think about it, many of our present-day medications come from plants, or they're artificially made to mimic plants. So for example, the foxglove flower will stop your heart if you eat it. And we make digitalis to decrease a rapid heart rate from foxglove. Aspirin is made from willow bark. Opiates are made from poppy seeds. And medical marijuana is used for epilepsy and pain. So what I'm trying to say here is that plants are potent. Many people substitute essential oils for synthetics or toxins in their everyday life that may be shown to cause cancer, liver, kidney, thyroid, and adrenal disorders. You can go to PubMed.com and find many research studies using essential oils. For example, if you type in frankincense, you'll get a lot of research study using that for assisting in the treatment of cancer. Okay, so how do we use these oils on people and horses? I'll start with myself first as a person. I use them every day. I put a drop of lemon oil in my water. You can also do this for horses. And it helps for liver and kidney detox, energy, and also happiness. It's one of the happiness oils. Lemon has been shown to decrease depression when it's diffused. I add a blend called Thieves in my coffee and tea every morning. It has cinnamon and clove, and cinnamon and clove especially have been shown that no virus can pass through these two powerhouse oils. So I'm doing that right now since everyone in my my workplace is sick. I drink a shot of Ningxia Red, which is a very strong antioxidant. It has wolfberries grown from Chinese soil. The horses really love these as a treat. And then with that drink, I will add other oils that I may want for the day. So lavender, peppermint, copaiba for respiratory support. There's a blend called Digest that's really good for horses and for us. And it has ginger, fennel, juniper, tarragon, and peppermint. And it's great for any kind of digestive trouble. Panaway is a blend that has wintergreen, helichrysum, peppermint, and copaiba. And I use that on myself and my horse's legs for sore muscles. I take a bath with lavender and frankincense after a stressful day at work. I put frankincense in my moisturizers. I slather a blend called Stress Away and Peace and Calming for stressful situations. For myself, it's traffic, husband, work. What am I making for dinner? Do I have to do the laundry? I need those oils. My horse has other oils for stress, so we use those as well. I also clean with thieves and lemon. They're amazing cleaning for cleaning. So I talked a little bit about myself, and then what do we do with the horses? Valor, Stress Away, Peace and Calming, lavender, and frankincense will calm an emotionally stressed out horse. I've seen it. I use it all the time. I pretty much put Valor on my body, and my horse smells it before I even get on him to ride for the day. He bobs and shakes his head and starts chewing, and he shows that he really wants it. I have on my website, and I invite you guys all to come to that website. I have a blog, and I have a video of a horse getting Valor applied to him, and it's one of the Percheron. It's either a Percheron or Frisian. I'm not sure I can tell the difference yet, but one of the horses at the Young Living Farm in Mona, Utah that I went to, it's pretty amazing to watch how the eyes of the horse start to dilate, the head starts to drop. And this was a pretty stressed out horse with just a couple of minutes and a couple of drops of the Valor. So I invite you guys to go check that out because it's pretty amazing. A couple things about horses, and you guys know this, horses are known foragers. They find what they need in nature and then they use it. So they choose what they eat, where they roll. When I use oils on horses, the first thing I do is open a bottle of 1 or 2 of the oils, see which one the horse might want. Usually, 1 or 2 oils, there's no response, they don't want it. But then I find another one and I open the bottle and they start licking and chewing and head bopping and they try to eat the bottle. That's the one they want. So I take that oil, I rub it in my hands. I always let them smell it first. And then I put a couple drops right on the forehead, the neck, to get towards where the carotid and the jugular veins are, which we'll get into the bloodstream more quickly. And then along the spine and the tail. And then you can also just put them locally. So you can use them for sores. Frankincense, tea tree, and lavender are great for cuts or sores in a horse. You can add coconut oil and a few drops and make a bigger amount of oil to spread on the horse if you need to put it on the belly or the legs. You don't need a lot of oils because our oils are really potent. So Life Science Publishing also, just so you guys know, has a really great DVD of oils being directly applied to a horse. And they do like very many, probably over 10 different conditions and what oils they use and how they apply it. So I really like that. And then also this book I got from Life Science Publishing, I don't know if you guys can see, but it takes each essential oil, basically tells you how to use the oil for yourself, for your horse, and in the barn. And it has lots of recipes in it for horses. There's not a lot on essential oils and horses yet, so we're hoping to go in that direction. That's pretty much it. I just want to tell you about Young Living oils and why we use them. They are 100% grade A therapeutic and food grade organic oils. Young Living has a seed to seal promise. You can watch a video of that on my website. They have the only FDA approved line for ingestion, which is a very effective delivery system. Young Living owns 22 farms worldwide. They source, they grow, they use horse and plow to prevent exhaust fumes from ever touching the plants. They distill and bottle on the farms. There is no regulation of essential oils. And the FDA right now only requires 3% of an essential oil that be in a bottle to label it as pure. So you'll see pure essential oils, but 95% of the oils on the market today are perfume grade D. You wouldn't want to ingest them, and they have some known carcinogenic fillers and not great distillation techniques. So So Young Living is the world leader in essential oils. They're celebrating 25 years of service. We have 5.6 million members worldwide, 3,000 employees. We have 50 chemists and scientists, 12 corporate labs. You can visit any of the farms at any time. And like I said, I've been to the lavender farm in Mona, Utah twice. I've seen the Frisians and Percherons pulling the plows in the fields. I planted little baby Melissa plants. I've seen the distillation and bottling on the farm, and it's pretty cool. So I was just going to finish up here. How do I get my oils? How did I get the oils? I bought a premium starter kit. It has 13 oils of the most used ones, and all of the ones I've been talking about. Has a medical grade ultrasonic diffuser, and is 50% off retail. Once you do that, you're a member of Young Living, you will get 24% off from future products. They also have a reward system to rack up points for free stuff. And I get 25% back now, which is great. It's better than Target. So I get all my cleaning supplies and laundry and all that from them. I think one of the best things is that when you become a member on our team, we'll come alongside you and tailor and teach you how to use the oils for yourself and your horse and your family. We do all of our teaching by Facebook, email, text or Skype, or in person if you're in Austin. We have a huge educational and support team. Our local group is called Western Oils, and Tara Hamilton is a nurse practitioner that got me into this. She is a walking essential oil encyclopedia, and she has 6 years of experience working with oils, and she is extremely scientific about everything and researches. So you have an amazing person to go to find that. And we have national support too. So I'm going to show you guys real quick a picture of what the kit looks like. It's a diffuser with the oils. So I'm going to turn my computer, and then hopefully y'all will see it. And then I'm done here with my spiel. Let's see. There's my diffuser going in the corner. Whoops. This diffuser runs for up to 12 hours. It has 10 different light settings. I know you can't really see that too well with the lighting, but and it has a start and stop option as well. I use this. You can use this in the barn. You can diffuse thieves or lemon for immune support for the horses, for yourself. You can diffuse it in your house. I use it in my bedroom at night for sleeping. And you can use it around, scared kids and scared horses, using Stress Away or Peace and Calming, which are some of the oils that come in the kit. You'll get a sample of Ningxia Red. And then if you guys order a kit from me, I will send you this Horses 101 Essential Oil book, which I just found. And it's pretty cool. It has recipes and then how to use each of the little oils. And then we'll also send you this 150 uses. So we like to give a lot of free things away to people and make sure you guys are really educated. I know people buy oils in the grocery store. They don't really have any way to know how to use them, but that's what we're here for. We love essential oils. They've changed our lives. Our horses are loving them. So that's it. I'll let you guys speak.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any stories where they used oils with their horses?
Well,
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, you can go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been using essential oils for years, not only with the horses, but with our special needs medically critical kids. And also, my mom just had a total knee replacement, and last Monday, not this past Monday, but a week ago Monday, she went to the doctor today, and I've been using frankincense and myrrh on her leg where she had the incision because she was in so much pain. And he said he couldn't believe the change, that she was way ahead of schedule. and I just think that it helps a lot with the inflammation. It helps a lot with just the pain reduction. So absolutely, I would recommend using it for a multitude of different options.
Thanks, Fritzy.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Crystal?
Oh, so I had a horse last year that had a nosebleed. And I don't know if you've ever seen a horse with a nosebleed, but it looks like someone died. And the vet came out and said that his guttural pouches had really, really bad fungal infection in them. One had a mass that he wasn't sure what it was, and that it was so bad that he would not be able to treat it in any way, and that I had better just enjoy my days, because it wasn't if he was going to die, but it was when, and he assumed it would be within a few weeks. And that was August 29th of 2018. When he told me that there was nothing I could do, of course I was heartbroken, and I've been using oils for a long time. So I had essential oils friends that said, oh my gosh, well, let's get him slathered in oils. And he has 4 oils that we put on him daily, and he's alive and kicking. And we've scoped him 4 times since then. The necrosis in his one pouch is gone, and the mass in the other pouch is significantly decreased in size. So I am a firm believer in oils for horses.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will send out Carol's website in the follow-up email when I send out the link to this recording. And then we have about 10 minutes left. So I'm cool if we want to like open it up and somebody wants to talk about something else. I've done a lot of research about the different EAP methods. I've been through the PATH certification process. I'm a mentor there. So if we want to talk about that, we can talk about business stuff. Or if you guys are, ready to call it an evening, we can do that too. Any takers of anything? Don't be shy.
Oh, can I mention one thing, Lindsay?
Sure.
Hey, I just want to mention one thing. When you go to my website, on my blog, I have that horse video. And hopefully Sally and I are going to do our own video soon of us putting some oils on her mini horses. So that'll be funny. But if you go to my website, and you don't have to be a Young Living member or anything like that, I do a free essential oil email. So you can get emails about essential oils. And then also I have a newsletter every month as well that's free. So there's also tons of education on essential oils. You don't need to be a member to get on there. And you can contact me too if you have questions, y'all. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us. It was very interesting. Lila, you've unmuted, so have anything you want to talk about?
I do. Lindsay, I wanted to ask you, I'd love to hear more about your EAP methods and which ones or any. I realize we only have 10 minutes. It's probably a lengthy conversation, but
well, I mean, it's one person's opinion, and I invite others to jump in here. So with PATH, if you look at some of the history with PATH, they're more of therapeutic riding and hippotherapy. They do have a ESMHL, so equine specialist in mental health certification, and I actually somehow found that training manual online. Somebody had posted it PDF somewhere, and I took a look at it when I was starting to I wanted to move into the mental health area. So I took a look at that and I said, and after talking to some people, obviously EGAL is the most well-known one, I think. And my aunt, who's a therapist who does EAP, I don't know a whole lot about it. I also have the training manual. I need to read it. I think if you go to natural lifemanship, that's the model that I've personally chosen, and my business partner, and how I met a few of the ladies that are on the call today. I'm really nerdy and database. Again, I work in technology, databases, healthcare software. And so having empirical data is really important to me. And, you know, that kind of goes into Frissy's conversation. And so when I was looking at the Natural Lifemanship website, just reading about their methods and the models, the scientific models that they use, a lot of it's based in attachment theory. It's 100% trauma informed. So regardless of if somebody has experienced trauma or not, it's just good practice to have. So that's kind of why it was just based straight in science and data and neuroscience. So that's really what drew me to natural lifemanship. And now having been through some of the trainings, it just makes 100% sense to me, how all this works, how we interact with horses, how we talk about horses, how we interact with each other. I don't have kids yet, but it's changed the way I want to parent now. It's been that transformational for me. Another one is Epona. There's a lot of people doing that method. So your top 3 or 4 actually now, PATH, which I wouldn't do unless, and that's probably bad. I probably shouldn't give that opinion. That's a networking group, right? But Epona, Natural Lifemanship, or Egala, those are the ones that I would really research. And send emails, ask questions, keep coming to this group. There's a lot of people there. I don't know if I really answered your question, but those
No,
are,
you did. No,
it was
and
kind of my personal journey there. I'm very, very particular.
I also really like the natural lifemanship literature that I've looked at, and I'm definitely going to do their training.
Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
I'm excited. And they're right here in Liberty Hill or Georgetown.
They are. So yeah, right here in the Central Texas area. We're pretty spoiled. We have Tim and Bettina in our backyard. Kate Naylor. I mean,
I actually
great names to list.
I interviewed Kate Naylor for my thesis, for my master's,
and
wonderful. She's amazing.
She
was very inspirational. So I'm well aware of what the work that they're doing. I just haven't actually had time between finishing my master's and working and 2 kids to do a training, and it's a big commitment. So, you know, getting feedback is nice to hear from their practitioners.
Yeah, and I'm actually going through natural lifemanship certification, and I specifically asked Bettina, like, what was kind of the standard time frame?
Yeah, what is the
right?
Okay, what is that?
And she said a year to 2 years is normal, right? And I came in as a horse person, and I'm just now going through training, you know, for LMFT. But apparently horse people have a harder time, you know, kind of learning the principles and working with it.
Sure.
I can attest to that. Mary, I see your hand. I will come back to you in just a second. No. Yeah, so 1 to 2 years. And then I also asked Bettina, because they're coming out with a few new trainings this upcoming year. I'm actually going to a workshop next week. It's a 4-day workshop. It's a personal intensive. So instead of the natural lifemanship, yay, I'll see you there. So instead of the natural lifemanship trainers being our trainers, they're actually going to be our therapists for 4 days. And we included in the price was an adult attachment interview to learn our attachment style, which is attachment theory is big in the natural lifemanship literature, along with Dr. Perry's neurosequential model and combining those two. And so Bettina said, do the fundamentals. It would be my thing, you know, for everybody to go through the personal intensive, because we all know we have to continuously do our own work if we're going to be, you know, congruent and
absolutely
continuing to help people. And then going and doing the intensive, and then doing your conference calls with them and finishing up that certification. So she did say fundamentals, personal intensive, regular training intensive, and go that route. And they're really big on trying to keep it as cost effective. But you know, training is training, and honestly, when you go compare prices, I mean, this one, every penny is worth it, and I'm sure other people on this call will say that.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, of course. Feel free to
And
ship
even
it
though
to
I'm
them.
not a, I
Go
said,
ahead.
even though I'm not a, you know, a mental health practitioner, and just being an OT, I find it so valuable, so incredibly valuable. It's changed, it's made a whole shift in the way I practice for the last 30 years, and how I approach just my staff, because that's been some of my, when I've done my group calls and when I'm done, because it's the organization I founded, I have to manage barn staff that, you know, you get those people that think, well, they know everything about a horse and what is this connection bullshit, and we don't need to do it. You know, you're out there making us feel like, you know, you're trying to do some magic something, and they really have, and how to manage that and how to integrate all the different proponents to making our organization and our foundation so strong, with that connection relationship. It's really, it's very powerful, and once you get into it, it's kind of addictive, because you've got a family that you want to go and be a part of, and grow with them also. So that's really exciting. Over the years of my continuing ed, this is very cost effective compared to some of the stuff, because I'm a manual therapist also. I do cranial sacral lymphatic drainage and brain work. And I mean, those 4-day pops are, you know, 1,200 or more, just depending on, and so it's a building process to that aspect of it. So I find it very valuable, just in my whole, you know, perspective.
Yeah. And then, and Mary, I'm going to come right to you after this comment. Lila, I'm going to give a shout out to Pecan Creek. Risha Job is Tim's daughter, and she and a few ladies have a place, Pecan Creek Ranch, out in Georgetown, and they're offering some professional development services. They'll take you, and actually it also looks very, very cost effective for what you'll get out of it. But part of it is that they'll walk you through their whole intake and assessment process. They'll walk you through exactly how they feed the horses. They'll let you sit in on some sessions. And so if you go look at Pecan Creek Ranch, they've got some really cool professional development offerings there as well. Yeah. All right, Miss Mary, you're up.
So, a couple things. First, going back to, because I'm a equine professional, obviously, too, not into the psychological, and I've started with the natural horsemanship side of it. So what I've done was and I'm almost done with all of my natural life-manship, is I found a common language and tried to figure out. So if you need help with figuring out some of the language pieces, once I was able to start comparing and contrasting to what I actually did, it made a lot more sense to me of how everything's working. So it's making it so it's a language, but mostly on the mental health side of it, actually can be the same thing with us. Instead of doing connection, the Windhaven uses partnerships, actually, more of a term. They like it, the veterans like it a lot better, and it makes more sense to them versus that. But the other thing I was wondering about is, I've been reading Horse Sense, the book by Shannon. And did you say you'd actually done her course already that's on natural life-manship, or are you going to?
I did.
Okay.
And it was fabulous.
All right. And I'm just curious, are they still using Egala there as their model, or has she changed it over to compared to what she's written? Because everything in here is all Egala. But I mean, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So the impression I got is that they were originally Egala. They may use still some things, but it sounded to me like you would have to ask Shannon, but it sounded like she switched completely over to natural life-manship.
Okay. Because I'm trying to figure out if that's if I need to do like both and be more certified in a bunch of different ones, or if I can just stick with natural life-and-ship and,
Yeah.
stay straight.
So I asked the same question actually to Shannon, because part of the business class. So you, Shannon doesn't have it on her website. You register through Natural Lifemanship,
Right.
the business class there, right? But part of that course is that you get a one-on-one with Shannon. You get 1 hour of her time to ask her whatever you want. And I asked her the same thing. And the answer is no, you don't need to be certified in multiple. They all have their same thing, which is a big reason why I said you guys definitely need to do your own research, because
Right.
what works for me and what I get and what I'm really into may not be for somebody else, right? And so when you're going through this, and I only say this, I've done a lot of software training, and so just like you were saying with your language,
Right.
if you can find a way to learn it and be able to teach it and explain it to others, either going through equine assisted learning or psychotherapy, the way you explain it, even if it's slightly different but the same point as somebody else, the more you understand it and the better you can explain it to somebody else, the better experience that our clients have.
Okay.
Right. And
Cool.
so, and there's also the Herd Institute. I'm probably, Shannon also recommended the Herd Institute, the CRD. Veronica is out in Florida. And so I'll probably check into that here in the next year or so. Slightly different method, but still highly recommended. So you'll see posts every now and then from Veronica on the
Cool.
website.
Thanks.
But yeah, just, my best advice is just to go do your research. Yeah. And just do what works for you. I mean, ultimately it's your business. That's the way you're going to make money. And, we all need to be happy doing what we're doing. All right.
All right. I don't know. I don't know if it's okay to add to,
yeah, please.
I guess one of the things I'm looking at, so in my practice, I bill insurance. And so I don't know as much about the natural lifemanship or herd or Epona, but I think so there's two factors that kind of come into play with insurance is, one, I've heard some certifications are more recognized as far as liability insurance as well for the equine part. And then the other is, sorry, that's, that's Penguin. The other piece is who is involved in, do you need is it a two-party or one-party? Because from an insurance perspective, I couldn't get reimbursed for a second equine specialist. So if I'm doing therapy, I can't have a second person. So I think for me in the social justice piece of wanting to give access to folks who can't afford to privately pay for things. So I'd be curious if people know the answers for the other, but as far as I know, Path and Egala are both two facilitator models.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd love to know about the other one.
Yeah, I can give you some insight. So all of those questions are answered in Shannon and Bettina's business course. They'll tell you, they'll go through the different codes for insurance. The model my business partner and I have chosen is to just not do insurance at all. We're going to do a super bill. Luckily, we're also in a part of Texas that is fairly affluent. And so if we were in a little bit further out and in smaller towns, it'd be a different story. The other thing that they'll talk about is profit versus nonprofit, right? And so nonprofit, you can get a lot of grant money depending on how you write, the grants and all of that. There's just a ton of money everywhere. And actually the Herd Institute just started a nonprofit, I think, and I haven't seen any posts lately, but to give money to new businesses. So that business course will walk you through how to make the decision of for-profit, nonprofit, and if it's for-profit, how to set that up. Now, as far as insurance go, they will give you the codes. Many insurances still don't kind of recognize the equine therapy and natural lifemanship. One of the reasons I do like them is that they are not about to hide that they're going to use the horse in their therapy session. But a lot of times in their documentation, what I've heard is that they'll say the therapy team, because in the natural lifemanship model, the horse we're not just using the horse as a metaphor or mirroring feedback. And actually just coming back from the conference in October, there was a lot of discussions about how do we talk about the horse. But they're literally part of the therapy team. So our clients are forming real relationships with horses in a safe, non-judgmental environment, because that's what horses provide. And so how they write about that in their notes to get the appropriate reimbursement. But yeah, again, highly recommend the business course. I don't know if that helps you or answers your question, but I'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Well, and I was, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I guess I wanted to bring it up too for folks who maybe are bringing to the mental health as a second part. So I think, yeah, just other factors to think about when choosing a model. I do know somebody in this area I asked has been audited by Blue Cross Blue Shield using therapy codes and was successful to do that. So, yeah. Anyway, but thank you. Yeah.
So my experience, I am a for-profit and I bill insurance, and I bill all insurances using the same codes. And my understanding when I have asked is that it is seen as a mental health session, and the therapist gets to decide who's involved in the session. So I have never ever had any insurance company question it. And I have, as long as they pay me as a therapist, they'll pay for the sessions. So I've never had any problems.
Sorry. So does that mean, are you practicing alone though, without, as a human? Are you the only human in the?
No, I am working as a team. And I started this basically through EGALA, and then have decided that natural life-and-ship is kind of more the direction I want to go. But I do have an equine specialist as part of the team because I'm much more comfortable that way. And I mean, I guess the insurance rates are what they pay. And so I bill what I can, and then pay my equine specialist what I can. And I own like the facility and the horses. So I think that kind of helps me. You know, if I were paying somebody else for the horses, it'd be really hard. But.
Okay. Thanks.
You bet.
All right. Anything else, guys? And by the way, that was just a pure example of why this networking group is a really good idea. At least I think so. Anything else, guys? No? All right. And I know we went a little long. And I mean, obviously I had the time, and some people kind of dropped off, which is good too. You can pop in and out. All right. So I'd like to make this a monthly event. And I think, you know, we'll plan something for December. One of the things that I kind of was thinking about as we're coming into the holidays and this, you know, self-care is boundaries. Dun, dun, dun. Putting them up professionally and how to do it, and doing it, you know, personally with family. Maybe you love your family, maybe you love your family but don't like them, you know, all the things, you know, and really start thinking about boundaries. So one of the things that I'll send out in the follow-up email is, so I get a planner every year from, what is it called? Cultivate What Matters. And it's this great goal planner for the year. Basically helps you tend to your goals, daily, weekly, monthly. It's a great planner, but they have free printouts, which I'm all about. So there's this sheet here, and I'll put it a little closer. But I love homework and love discussion. So I'm going to send this PDF out, and it's what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to. And I really encourage you guys, from a self-care perspective, you know, coming into the holidays, you know, whether it's going to be boundaries for yourself, you know, what are those boundaries? And there's, you know, we want these to be positive. So I'm going to send this out. So fill it out. I'm going to do it too. And hopefully we'll have some good discussions about how to appropriately set boundaries. I know Kate Naylor wrote a really great blog post on the Natural Lifemanship website about boundaries, what they are, what they're not. So definitely go check that out as a resource. And then also, I'm going to send you a link to the form I mentioned earlier to fill out what days are best, what time is best for you across time zones. I'm going to try as best we can to keep this, you know, to an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half max. I have check boxes on there. What do you want to learn? What are your goals for this group? Just to make sure that we're meeting your needs, because this is for all of us. Okay. And then I'll also send out the recording. Special thank you to Carol and Sally. You guys were amazing today. Thanks for sharing about the oils. If you have any questions for Carol, I'll include her stuff in the email as well. Yeah, so anybody want to do any final remarks, or are we all ready to go? Everybody can unmute. Did we like this? Is this something we want to continue to do? Was it helpful?
Well, thank you very much, Lindsay, for pulling this all together. I greatly appreciate it. I enjoy working with y'all, and also is I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Well, next week actually.
Next week.
At the you know, at the intensive, and you know, getting to know you better in that aspect of it, and then learning from all of you. There's so much to learn, and how to make that all happen is very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm all about collaboration. There's enough work to go around. I'm not about competition. I will refer to people. I want to learn about your businesses. I want you to do, I wouldn't even say a humble brag. Like we all work really hard. We need to be very proud of the work that we're doing and promoting our services and our business. That's what this group is for. So don't ever be afraid to like toot your own horn. I think something that I'd like to implement in later sessions is, hey, like who wants to, you know, if your goal is to have 5 private full pay clients without having to bill insurance, and you got those 5 clients, we all need to clap for you guys, you know, or whatever the case may be. So,
All right.
All right,
Great.
guys, thanks. It was great meeting
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right.
Absolutely.
Bye,
Y'all
guys.
take care. Bye.